Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to another show on a Wednesday. Um, yeah, man, let's quickly go through our forecast for today, what we are looking for. And remember, there is FOMC in between. I will jump to FOMC and we speak through the FOMC while looking for trades on a day trading. As you're jumping through, do not forget to like and subscribe. I'll truly appreciate such support, and I hope you're good. Let's do it, man. There is FOMC. So yeah, let's get into it, man. Yeah. How's your week so far? Yeah, I'm gonna quickly do the analysis now. We are live. Here we go. We are live. Okay. Yeah, we are live, and then let's do it, man. So previous daily high. Oh, let me send the text. Yeah. So we are live. Um, we have taken previous daily high and daily low. Previous daily low is still a bit standing. Nothing has happened to it so far. Also, an S&P 500 we didn't take that previous daily high, but it looks like uh, there is a higher time frame SMT. So I could be bearish coming into the PM session. Remember, as I said, there is FOMC meeting, not AFMC rate cards and everything. It's just Powell will be saying something. So they'll be speaking about the minutes. We'll see if it will sound dovish or hawkish. I think that will determine a lot of our positioning in terms of swing trading. But we have an SMT coming lower, so we are still holding that support area here. But let's see as we go to FOMC, what are we looking at and what am I interested in? I think I'm interested in best coming to that fair value gap. There is a 4 hour fair value gap, yeah. I don't know what's happening below it. Already we have taken that 4 hour fair value gap. We have reacted on this 4 hour fair value gap again on S&P 500 and we rejected on US30. Also, you have taken this higher high, so there is a clear SMT here. Let's see. Also, this higher time frame is also held. So within that, just below it, there is a 1 hour fair value gap. Just below it, there is a 1 hour fair value gap. See, what are we looking at here? We're looking for continuation to the upside. We held that fair value gap. And then we are also holding that 15 minutes fair value gap here. I am going to be bearish for now going into the FOMC meeting unless something changes. Oh God, this thing is moving, eh? Can I see this side? Yeah, we are at a 15 minutes fair value gap. You know how my rule is. Take one loss, I'm done for the day. So I am not just gonna quickly rush. Also, this 15 minutes fair value gap below. Um, yeah, this is interesting. While US30 is pushing to the upside, which is weird. US30 is going higher, Nasdaq is going lower. It's interesting, eh? We have reacted in that 15 minutes fair value gap above, also 5 minutes fair value gap. Um, we are also at the 15 minutes, 5 minutes fair value gap also. Can I get a continuation to target this low or all the way to London low? I don't know. For now, I am neutral because we came up, reacted on that 15 minutes, 5 minutes fair value gap already. We held that 5 minutes fair value gap, yeah, just before. So we held this 5 minutes fair value gap, giving me possibilities of the market going lower. And then there is like an SMT around these areas. I'm just gonna mark it there. Maybe look for a reversal lower. Yeah, there is another SMT here. Possible lows here are possible. Yeah, possible lows are possible. Should I take the trade here? Should I take this trade here? This will be the end of my day very fast, yeah? There's a breakout. Quickly see. SMT, vector there. Side. Um, area cut price. That there. What about you? Okay. I'm tempted to go short. Yeah, I'm tempted to go short. Tempted to go short. Yeah, go short. I'm gonna go short, man. I know the power's about to come, so everything might change, or everything might change, yeah? So, mm, should I take this short? Wait. I'm not gonna take it yet, though it meets my requirement. Let me wait for the 8 o'clock move, the 1 hour how it closes. Because wow. 15 minutes as close as if it's neutral. See here, we are holding that. Okay. Should I take shorts here? What am I missing? So I'm missing all this move to the upside. Okay, 1 hour closed, 15 closed, 5 closed bullish. C3, okay, 1. I'm not gonna jump into it. I am gonna wait, maybe to see more confluences coming lower because it looks doesn't look good. Oh, okay. Now we are talking something else. We flip that with the 1 minute, yeah. Gonna wait for a flip. That's the invasion already close above. I am gonna wait for something, yeah. Okay. Remember, there's FOMC, so I'm just gonna be a bit careful. Let me look for the FOMC meetings, then I'll share it with you. Are you interested in that? Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Uh, yeah, it's interesting now. It's not looking good for me. Thank God I didn't take that trade. I doubt. Just waiting for the FOMC to start with. FOMC. Uh, okay. He has started. I am just waiting. Yeah. He has started. Okay. If we flip this 1 minute, yeah, I'm gonna take an attempt because I'm not taking that. If we flip, yeah. Nope, don't take as yet. No, I'm not gonna take unless we flip that low, yeah. I am gonna take it. Unless we get something like this. I am gonna look for continuation lower. Because yes, there is this 1 minute fair value gap, yeah. But I know that we're gonna get the reaction into it and then we move back to the upside. But for now, I was busy with FOMC. What the hell is Trump saying? Yeah, man. What the hell is Trump saying? Oh, I don't know what Powell said, but we look to be going to the upside, and also Trump is speaking, so I had to be extra careful at what I do here. I am still looking for, yeah. I was still looking for the Powell. How loud
Thanks,
is
Chair
the
Powell.
sound?
Kelly O'Grady, CBS News. You're famously known as the guy that makes decision based on data instead of speculation. You've said today the inflation data is in a good place. We don't know how tariffs are going to impact prices going forward. That's uncertain. But I've got to go back to the last time that you cut rates in December, and there was still the what if of tariffs. So what made you feel comfortable cutting then when inflation was higher than where it is today, and you didn't cut today?
Well, the forecast for inflation in December was 2.5. Core PCE for 2025, the forecast was 2.5%, which was a good inflation forecast. I think what we've learned is that, and this was long before we had any idea of what the actual policies would be. We've learned that the tariffs are going to be
Yeah, the market is
substantially
still
larger
going to the
than
upside.
forecasters generally thought.
So the market is still going to the upside. Yep. Yeah, still going to the upside. Can I get a continuation here? I don't know. Let's see. No, still waiting to see if it's gonna reach. Oh, look at that.
5 years, prices have risen over
Yeah,
20%. It's been a rough road.
this is another
So
move.
what is the tipping point then for the wait and see approach in terms of how much it's going to help versus when it hurts the American consumer?
Well, I mean, we're trying to restore price. The best thing we can do for the public that we serve is restore price stability. If we can, and we will, restore price stability, meaning 2% inflation on a durable, sustainable basis, that, and also maximum employment. If we restore those things, that's the best thing, and that is our goal. The best thing we can do for the American people for
So I'm looking for direction to that high now. I could look for bears at the end. I'm looking to come back to this high. Look at that correction to the upside. You will think if that closes, it leaves this 5 minutes value gap. That can give a counter reaction like this, coming back to that high. But let me see something. So we are at a premium if it comes back here. So I'll look for longs. I can look for longs then. Yeah, I can. The 5 minutes about to close. I can look for longs. Close. If we come back here, I might look for long. Come back here, give me correction, unless it flips this low. Hmm.
Reduce rates is
It
to
sounds very,
understand
it sounds very
what will happen
optimistic and very
with really the
bullish
tariff inflation.
about the rate
And
cuts.
there's
Please,
a
as you
lot of
come through, do
uncertainty
not
about
forget to
that.
like and subscribe.
Every forecaster you can name who is a professional, forecaster with adequate resources and forecasts for a living is forecasting pretty significant. Everyone that I know is forecasting a meaningful increase in inflation in coming months from tariffs because someone has to pay for the tariffs, and it will be someone in that chain that I mentioned between the manufacturer, the exporter, the importer, the retailer, ultimately somebody putting
Always
it
talking
into
about
a good of some kind, or
infection.
just the consumer buying it. And all through that chain, people will be trying not to be the ones who pick up the cost, but ultimately, the cost of the tariff has to be paid, and some of it will fall on the end consumer. We know that because that's what businesses say, that's what the data say from past. So we know that's coming, and we just want to see a little bit of that before we make judgments prematurely.
And follow up on that. So you spent years though talking about how you're data dependent, and be a little more direct on this. Now you're making decisions looking forward. Doesn't the data you're seeing today indicate there should be a rate cut?
No, I mean, your monetary policy has to be forward-looking. That is elementary. You've got to be looking at, I always talk about the incoming data, the evolving outlook, and the balance of risks. That we say that over and over and over again, right? So it's always forward-looking. If you know, at the very beginning of the pandemic,
Tell me if you want to see
we cut rates
the
to
live
zero
stream
immediately. Nothing had
Paul
happened.
speaking.
We just knew that it was going to be really bad, right? So we took very aggressive forward-looking because we knew things were going to be unusually difficult. So, of course, this is something we sort of know is coming. We just don't know the size of it.
Do you want to know the? Sorry. Do you want to know the? Do you want to see the live stream?
Talk to business people now, there's a very different feeling now that people are working their way through this, and they understand how they're going to go, and it feels much more positive and constructive than it did 3 months ago, let's say. So, again, we think that our current stance of monetary policy is in a good place.
Amara. Thank you. Amara Mokway with Bloomberg. Chair Powell, in February, you told Congress that the Fed is, quote, overworked, maybe not overstaffed. Then in a memo to staff in May announcing a deferred resignation program at the Fed, you said you wanted to ensure that the Fed was, quote, right-sized. Those two statements appear to be at odds with one another. Could you explain what changed in the roughly 3 months between those statements that made you decide that staff levels at the Fed should decline?
I don't see them at all as intention. So I was asked, is the Fed overstaffed? And I said no, and I sort of said as a pun, overworked but not overstaffed. People do work extremely hard at the Fed, and I know they work hard at Bloomberg too. So, but we work hard, but I would say this. So we are careful stewards of public resources, and sometimes you need to show that. So there have been several times in our history, modern history, where the Fed has said, you know what, we're going to do a buyout. We're going to show the public. We're going to demonstrate that we are good stewards of public resources. So we thought, and I thought, that this is a time when we can, we grow at about, our headcount has grown at about 1% a year. So over the course of a couple of years, we're doing a careful scrub of the board and all the reserve banks, and we're going to find 10% of employees who can do something else, where we can streamline our operations, and we think we can get there in a year, in a couple of years. We think we can do that, and we think this is without taking risk to carrying out our critical mission.
Oh, sorry. Thank you, Klopp. Ah, damn it, man. Are you still here, Klopp? Sorry, man. I turned off the audio, and then for some reason I forgot to turn it on. The audio is not working. Do you have a link? No, no, no. I turned the audio off by mistake. Sorry, I was on a call, man. Are you still here? Please don't forget to like and subscribe while at it, even though I'm on a deep drawdown. Am I out yet? No. I don't think the trade will hold though. I can stream the FOMC. I can just add the feed, but I just felt like the FOMC right now is not as important. Um, it's just discussing he's discussing the why he has not cut rates. Basically, it's all about cutting the rates. They are questioning him about cut rates. Why is he not cutting? When is he looking into cuts? And he always said that he is data dependent. So if he's data dependent, the data right now don't did suggest that he must cut rates, and so he's speaking along those lines. Um, yeah, so I think it doesn't even bring so much volatility as well, but he could say anything. Could say anything. I could stream the live, yeah, but I just felt like let me not. I'd rather use the audio once in a while to just because I am hearing him. So whatever he will be saying, I do hear him. I can easily stream it, but I felt like nah, man. But yeah, it's not saying much. For me, it's important given the. For me, it's important because of swing positioning that I have, and I'm looking into building up on that. So that is why I'm more interested in it. I hope you understand, man. But there is. Do you want me to stream the FOMC or jumping in between listening to the audio and going back? It's better. Which one is better?
That people do generally expect inflation to move up and then to come back down. But we can't just assume that. Of course, we don't know that. And, our job is to make sure, one of our jobs is to make sure that a one-time increase in inflation doesn't turn into an inflation problem. And that, again, that will depend on the size of the effects, how long it takes for them to come in, and ultimately on keeping inflation expectations anchored.
Hi, and thanks, Chair Powell. Howard Schneider with Reuters. If you look at the rate path starting in December to today and adjusted over the full time horizon you've got there, you've taken about a quarter point per year out of your projected path.
So which one do you think is better, man? To stream it like this, just we hear what he says, to jump in between the trade that I'm in. That's perfect. Okay.
Full rate, is it? Why are you on a slower path now?
So I would focus most on the nearer term as you get out to the.
But what's your
later
bias, man?
years,
Are you
it's
trading the
hard
PM
it's hard for
session?
anybody to know where the economy is going. You didn't see people moving their
Please don't forget to
long-term,
like and subscribe.
estimate of the neutral rate, for example, at this meeting. So, and those things are probably slow moving. So I think if you look at what's happening here since March, this is since March, right? You see a little slower growth, just a tiny tick up, a 1/10 tick up in unemployment, and you see inflation moving up 0.3. And by the way, it was a similar move from the December SEP to the March. So that's what you see. You see the effects of tariffs. I think we learned in April, after the March meeting, that substantially higher tariffs were likely. And then since then, the estimates of where the tariffs will be have actually moved back down, although still at an elevated level. So we're adapting in real time. And what you see is an accumulation of individual assessments.
You say in the statement that risks have diminished, on that front, but the July 9th, drop dead date for all the Liberation Day tariffs is still out there and unresolved. You've got now exchange of missiles between two Middle East adversaries with a possible U.S. involvement. How can you justify saying that risks have diminished?
So what we said was that uncertainty uncertainty about the economic outlook has diminished but remains elevated. Many surveys say that. They do. So, and that's actually a line from the Teal book, which you can see in 5 years. Remember to check that.
Maybe the war will be over.
No, but
Yeah, I do see a range. I'm looking for a breakdown like now. My fear it's once the market comes back again here for a retest to continue lower, it's not looking good for me for my Nasdaq trade. I am bound range. However, the trade is not looking good. That I mean,
Inflation has continued to cool and is back at roughly 2% despite the tariffs. And I guess I also wanted to ask about, cracks in the job market with gross hiring slowing, concentrated in just a few industries. We've seen some housing data, including this morning, that has been pretty weak. Do you see any concerns that, the economy is weakening and that is a reason to cut rates going forward?
so we do of course monitor all those things. I think if you look at the overall picture, what you're seeing is 4.2% unemployment and an economy that's growing at a rate hard to know given the unusual flows in the first quarter, but it appears to be 1.5%, 2%, maybe a little better than that. Sentiment has come up off of its very low.
back at break even after that this dip drawdown. Yeah, I think this now for me it will be a critical point here. I guess if we can break below this low, the market can go all the way down like that. The 5 minutes for value gap is another area that we can reject to go back to the upside. So another trade I will be looking at here as well to see what happens. If we move lower, break below, come closer to this 5 minutes for value gap, I am gonna move my stop loss to break even. Just watch if I'm gonna get a continuation or we're gonna flip to the upside. Already Trump has created tariff against South Africa. Oh shucks. Looks we are consolidating on the 5 minutes time frame. So if we close below that, I think we are set to come back to that 5 minutes value gap that I marked here. Sorry. So if you look coming this way, we are likely to break, come back. For now, we are holding that 5 minutes value gap with the breaker. Very dangerous place to take the trade. But I'm hoping that we're going to come back here before we look for continuation to the upside. Yeah, this, I think, for me, that's a possibility that we can come back to look for an upside. So therefore, I could be positioned that maybe if we get an invasion here, we're going to come back all the way down. And then if we come all the way down, I'm happy to take that. But once we come here and I see the market looking to have a market structure shift to the upside, I'm going to close my short and look for longs.
take, and what do you want to see in the data to get to that level of confidence to actually reduce rates off the restrictive level?
So again, it's very, very hard to say when that will happen. We know that the time will come. Could come quickly. It could not come quickly. As long as the economy is solid, though, as long as we're
Yeah, I think that's what my plan is. Similar to what to see what happens. So that's I'm just quickly moving along, waiting patiently to see what happens. Because at the end of the day, it might come back. What is it now? It might come back for this weak failure. Might come all the way down to this weak fill. Then we look for the continuation to the upside. So this low, that low, and that low, this will be my take profits. But I'm more interested in this immediate take profit here. So I think that's where my plan is. And Powell is very neutral today. He's not saying anything drastic. I'm not sure if Trump was speaking as well. Is Trump speaking?
The core PCE, is that what it is? And could you
Well,
share that?
Yeah, what you start with is what's the effective tariff rate overall, and people are managing to that. But the pass-through of tariffs to consumer price inflation is a whole process that's very uncertain. As you
Yeah,
know,
the
there are
trade is
many
not looking
parties in
good.
that chain. There's the manufacturer, the exporter, the importer, the retailer, and the consumer. And each one of those is going to be trying not to be the one to pay for the tariff. But together, they will all pay for it together, or maybe one party will pay it all. But that process is very hard to predict. And we haven't been through a situation like this. And I think we have to be humble about our ability to forecast it. So that's why we need to see some actual data to make better decisions. We'd like to get some more data. And again, in the meantime, we can do that because the economy remains in solid condition.
Okay, our guy is very neutral. And the way he's saying it might push the market to the upside right now. It sounds like he's looking at the data. However, possibility of rate cuts are coming in the near future. But for now, inflation, am I saying inflation? Yes. Tariffs are a problem. Inflation is solid. Jobs data, it's good. And to be fair, last week's jobs data changed a lot of things. Yeah, last week's jobs data changed a lot of things. It was good jobs data. So that job data from last week, it's changed a lot to that. It changed the sentiments from totally bearish to the dollar, totally bearish to the dollar, to we could get delayed in rate cuts and we could start to buy the dollar. And also if we were to look at your 10-year treasury yield, it did love the NFP number. So the NFP number did change the sentiment slightly, but that's a long term. But from what he's saying, yeah, this trade might not work out.
Differences you see should be smaller because we'll have seen actual data. Right now, it's just a forecast in a very foggy time. So that's the first part, is forecast. Secondly, people can look at the same data and they can evaluate the risks differently, as you know. And that includes, the risk of higher inflation, the risk that it'll be more persistent, the risk that the labor market will weaken. People are going to have different assessments of that risk. So you put that in there too. So those are the two ways that the two things I think that drive these things. Remember, though, as I mentioned earlier, with uncertainty as elevated as it is, no one holds these rate paths with a lot of conviction. So that's really where it is.
It could be misleading, but the way I'm looking at the way he's sounding like, oh, sorry,
diminish.
True, but the way he's sounding like he's favoring more towards your risk on asset, your Nasdaq, and the others. Hence, I'm saying in this case, oh, okay, our stop loss will be hit. You see what I'm talking about? I might try to re-enter if I'm tapped already. But if it comes back and rejecting, I'll look entering again. So the trade is not looking good.
So we'll make smarter and better decisions if we just wait a couple of months or however long it takes to get a sense of really what is going to be the pass-through of inflation and what's going to be the effects on
Listen to
spending
this.
and on hiring and all those things.
So he sounds like, I'm talking about power, he sounds like they will take a few months for the rate cuts to come. That can be bearish for Nasdaq from that statement alone, because they have time to do that. But also the market might interpret it to say we have to, we are certain there's no uncertainty about when the rate cuts are coming. It's not going to come maybe in the next FOMC meeting rate cut decisions. It might come in later on the year in the final 2 months of the year in October. And so the market, if they know that, then the market might move to be bullish because there's not any uncertainty in the market. Now they have an idea from him saying they will take time, they will have time, they still have time because the jobs data is good, inflation is good. So therefore, there's no need for them to rush to cut rates. So that alone says a lot about it cuts a lot of uncertainty because right now we are just predicting when the rate cuts are coming. So in this case, the rate cuts might not be coming in the next 2 months. So that's how I'm interpreting it. So my trade is just weird. I just wish the
Mr.
trade could
Chairman.
break below this low. If
I
it
guess
breaks
with
below
workplace
this low and come this way,
rates, increasing,
I think my
picking up
shorts will hold.
significantly, what kind of effect would that have on the labor market in
Sorry,
the short
with
term?
what picking up?
Workplace rates.
So you're asking immigration.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't want to speculate.
US30,
One way
I
to
hope
get at
Nasdaq
that
will
from an
follow
economic
suit. Look at
standpoint, we of course
US30.
don't comment on
How that
immigration
favorite
policies.
look
It's not
gap
ours to
created a
make or
higher
comment
high.
on.
It is breaking
But
below.
what you see is
If
a,
it breaks
an
below there,
unemployment rate that has been really
close and might
solid
give a
and at a
retest.
low level,
And I hope
not
Nasdaq will
really
follow suit,
increasing.
but
It's
that
been
might not
in a
happen.
good range
So I always
and well
compare
within the
Nasdaq
range
with
of mainstream
the
estimates of
counterpart
maximum
trend, yeah,
employment. And that
S&P
means,
500.
like, part of that is that labor demand and labor supply.
Sorry, so I'm running this show alone. So sometimes I forget to shut down what Powell is saying and say on top. Sometimes the voice may not be audible. So yeah. So let's see if this Fibonacci gap will hold. If that holds and will come lower, I think, though it's not looking good, but let's see. Okay, tapped.
The other ideas. It's sort of how do we think our communications can be improved? There are a number of ideas. People offered a really, it was a great conversation, number of ideas, but we're going to look at those with staff briefing and a lot of thought in the fall. And I would say when it comes to changing communications, you know, I would only support things really that only implement things that have very broad support. And also you want to be really careful because I think our communications are pretty well received. They're not broken. So more is not necessarily better, but better is better. So we're going to be looking at ways to do to do things that will improve the clarity of what we do for the benefit of the public.
Thanks, Chair Powell. Kelly O'Grady, CBS News. You're
Tell me,
famously
Intro,
known as the guy
would you
that
be
makes
entering a
decision
trade? So
based
are you going
on
to enter a
data
trade
instead of
as we break this 5
speculation.
minutes
You said
consolidation?
today in the inflation
If
data
you
is in a
break
good
below
place. We don't know how
and come
tariffs are
lower, are you
going
going to
to
look too
impact
short?
prices going
What's
forward.
your
That's
plan?
uncertain. But I've got to go back to the last time that you cut rates in December, and there was still the what if of tariffs.
I was saying, are you going to look to go short if we break below this 5 minutes consolidation club? Because if you look closely, we are consolidating. So if we get a move lower, a 5 minutes closing like that, below that range here, just have a candle close below. Do you think a continuation all the way, maybe to hold this 5 value cap support here? There is a possibility like that. Are you going to look too short, or your plan is just to say, I'm staying out? What's your plan? Oh, when did you take the shots? Where? So you go in and out. So how long will be your short right now? Are you saying you're shorting until 8:20? My broker is giving me a slightly different price for US tech. Oh, come on, man. Start giving me something. How long have you been on a trade club? I see markets. Anyway, I don't like talking about brokers. Let me not mention that name of your broker. How is it? Do you use it on TradingView? I need a broker that I can use on TradingView. Oh, it's been a while, eh? Let me see how long I've been on this trade. I've been here for 30 minutes. Okay. Where are you from? You said you're from? Which country? Just looking in terms of regulations. Oh, UK. Interesting. Okay. So, that broker yours, it's regulated in UK. Interesting. I will consider it. I will consider it to try use it for. So I just want to have a streaming account in terms of scalping. I'll decide if I'm making it public or not. So I've been on this trade for 30 minutes. Still been consolidating. Just looking for that distribution to the downside, that could move to the downside and see what's going to happen. So Trump is talking again. Oh, shucks. Okay. Yeah, the move is all. It looks like it, but it can go either way, man, to be honest with you. It will go either way. Yeah. The bulls are coming back again, so yeah. But consolidation, it's not looking good to be fair. Yeah. The bulls are strong. The trade is not looking good now. I'll explain why. Okay, the trade is not gonna look good. If this 1 minute closes like this, we are all gone for yeah, we are all gone for the stop loss. Yeah, I'm out. Yeah, I'm out on this trade. Two losses in a row. Yesterday, I took an unnecessary loss that I'm still mourning about. Today, it's a decent loss. I'm not really sad about it or anything. Yeah, so I'm out here. Let's see the side. Okay, there's an SMT between that. Possibility of shorts are still there. Hey, will I flip my bias? No. According to my rules, I take a loss. I call it a day. So before I call it a day, yeah, let's just quickly discuss swing positioning, man. So it's another loss for another day, 2 days in a row. It's not looking good for your big brother here, man. Two losses in a row. Let's see. Let's see. So tomorrow will be live again. But if I take another loss tomorrow, I will reduce my risk lower. So this is what I was avoiding. You see here, there is a possibility of longs here. That is why I'm just trying to stay out now. And this has not tapped this 15 minutes fair value gap, yeah. So, um, yeah. Scott, are you still on your trade? Okay. Yeah. Anyway. Okay, let's go to long positioning and swing trading. We'll come back to this before the end of the show. But for me, I've taken a lot. I have taken my loss for the day. I'm done. So swing positioning, and from what Powell has been saying on the FOMC, I'm looking for longs here as we come back to retest this low. Already, we seem to be failing for that. I have a limit on my limit is on the DUSD. I'm looking for a retest to this low, to this support to look for a continuation to the upside. I was on longs here. The market, I've taken a few profits. I was triggered by the daily high for a few, I think the zero point 0.5 profit. Okay, let's go further. And you could still use this as your support as again to say if it comes back here, I'm going to look too long again. Not for me. Um, okay, GJ. I mean, GU. I'll just see what's happening with GU. I could attempt to long if my fundamentals make sense. So before we got into it and speak about a lot of things. Oh yeah, out as well. Okay. So let's get into it, man. I'm just gonna quickly do the fundamentals here. Oh shucks, I haven't opened it. So I'm gonna look. So I'm positioned for gold. I've taken low on gold, but I'm trading an ETF. I'm trading an ETF. It's on a new account. I don't know if I'll show you, but I'll decide now before I call it a day if I show you. Do you trade long term? Do you do investments, man? The earlier I call it a day, the better. Okay, here we go. I'm here. Okay, here we go. Okay. I'm gonna remove the neutral reading and leave the bullish here. Uh, just gonna see something here. Please do not forget to like and subscribe. Oh, okay. So NZD is bullish, Euro CAD is bullish. I am gonna look into this. So here is still at USD. Did I remove? Let me just remove the neutral ones. Category. Okay. So, but anyway, let me just quickly discuss it. On the bears, I have USDJPY. It's not a very strong bear, but it is. I just didn't enter it because it has stopped giving me the bearish rally that I'm looking for. But AUD, CHF, this other USD, CHF, they are bearish. This one, I'm just not convinced about the bearishness in it. And if we to look at all the macroeconomics here, they are bearish for this pairs, for USD JPY as well. So GU starting to be bearish. GJ, it's neutral. I'll call this neutrals. So I'm interested in this here. If this jump on this one, I would have taken it. USD I don't have Australian dollar against the New Zealand dollar. Perhaps AUDJPY, I will consider short, but let's see. And then on the bull side, I'm interested in Euro USD, Euro CHF, USD CAD. Interesting. So yeah, so I'm just looking into these things here and deciding what to do. So looking at all this, sorry, I've just flipped this around. And as I've explained, I think I've explained this before. I am just gonna quickly re-explain it and why the dollar is gaining a bit of strength. Sorry, why the dollar is gaining a bit of strength right now. So here we go. NFP data came through. So if we were to look at the NFP data, the last NFP data, the forecast was 111K, and the one that we got was 147K, which was very bullish for the dollar, saved the day. I believe that a lot of forecasts were expecting something extremely low, as in below 100K in terms of NFP jobs data. And then this number was a bit of a good surprise, not a bad surprise, a good surprise that indicated that if you look at this number, it directly indicated that the job data is stable. Recession is still far from us, not far, but there won't be any recession right now given how the jobs data is, because inflation is low. There's high tariffs that are driving that can drive inflation higher, but inflation is low, a bit stable. The reason why it didn't cut rates, it was just purely to determine by looking at the jobs data. So the jobs data, it's the one basically saving us from recession and delaying our rate cuts. And then we have seen that move from the 10-year treasury yield. But anyway, and this was coming after ADP NFP, after a terrible ADP number. So this number for ADP was terrible, and that changed a lot of sentiments in the market, because now if you look at a minus 33,000, you will think we are likely going to get an NFP number. However, we got the opposite of that. We got a good NFP number. We got a good unemployment rate. Look at that. That's a good unemployment rate from 4.2 to 4.1, meaning jobs are being created. So the jobs data, it's stable, flat, takes stable. There's no need for the Feds to panic, to cut rates. That is what Powell was speaking about, to say, look, the jobs data is stable, inflation is good. There's no need for me to rush to cut rates. I can still be there watching and looking into. We can still wait as the Feds before we cut rates, just watching what the tariffs will do, because already Trump has started announcing the tariffs. If you were to look at Trump, he started with his tariff stuff. He has already added tariffs to the BRICS nation. Your South Africa, it's also affected there. So also jobs opening data, it's looking solid. Solid jobs opening data. Wage growth, it's solid as well. Wage growth, though it's at 37%, but very stable. So these data they've already saved the day, have already changed the sentiment in the market. Therefore, one of the indication of such change in the market sentiment is, let me quickly do this, is the 10-year treasury yield. I'm just going to quickly, it's a 10-year treasury yield. The Treasury yield market, it did love the NFP number. It changed everything. Look at the 10-year treasury yield. Immediately after the NFP number, we pushed the market to the upside. So that was a true indication of saying the 10-year yield loved the market, loved the data that came through, did love the NFP numbers. So therefore, it pushed the market to the upside, because now we're going to get delayed in rate cuts. So if the NFP data was bad, you will have seen maybe this coming all the way down to this low. because now it will say to the bond market that um, cutting rate cut are coming. The 10-year treasury yield will definitely go lower. With that being said, one of the pair that I was looking for, it's USD JPY. I didn't enter. I had a lot of doubts with taking this trade, but I will also be watching it on a 4-hour time frame and see if we flip this low and come back here. Perhaps I'll look into taking the trade, but for now, I didn't take it. Another one that it says it's better is USD CHF, but very interestingly, NZD I was looking for NZD to see if can I buy NZD. I will. I might analyze NZD with you to look if I can buy it. Where is this? But anyway, while we're still at it, what do you think about my analysis of microeconomics? Before I take this trade, there is something that I need to confirm. There is something that I need to confirm. But what do you think about my economics, or I will say micro analysis? Am I terrible or I'm better than most? Nah, man, I use a lot of data. Yeah, what time they get better? So I'm looking to go long, man. Yeah. But before I go long, let me quickly check carry trades here. I think this trade will consolidate for a while. And if the carry trades are good, I'll definitely take it. Let me quickly just go through the carry trade here. So, because I'm a swing trader, and sometimes for Forex, I do look at carry trades. And in this case, carry trades, let's look at carry trade for NZD. If it's positive, I will look to buy, and I can hold forever because I'm carrying positive carry trade NZD. So these are carry trades. So if you buy, so carry trades are literally your swaps. So I'm just checking if I have a positive swaps or not. Okay, buying NZD, I am earning about 0.5% interest just for holding the trade. So I am gonna buy now. Hold on for me. I am gonna buy now. Let's see. Just quickly log in here. I am buying NZD long term. Just logging on my broker. Uh, I am opening a trade. Yeah, sorry. Market. Okay, just gonna buy market. Okay, since it's incurring positive subs, I just bought here. Yeah. Okay, I just bought. Remember what I said? I'm buying because it has positive subs. Okay. Yeah. So carry trade, I just have to look. I look at it always to determine if the trade that I'm entering, does it have positive subs or negative subs. So in this case, we do have positive subs. So let me look at my brother. Yeah, man, it does. The only trade that I think it did, I took a loss yesterday and it did hurt me because I was on a long. I decided not to take the trade. It was a good trade. Was a 1:3 flat good trade. Um, and then the last two trades I took profits. It was take profit for like the last two, and then the one before yesterday one could have avoided the loss. And for some reason, I just jumped on the market that I didn't understand why. So that is why I was not happy with myself. But this one, I love that it has positive carry trades. So that is why I'm long. So yeah. So the thing, so also, quickly let me look at here. So do not forget to like and subscribe and just quickly follow me, man. And then I will speak about a few things that I'm looking for. And I call it a night. Yes, decade is starting to be boorish, eh? Sure, brother, no problem. If you come back sooner, I'll be here. I truly appreciate you joining me and engaging with me. Please do not be scared to share the live. Come join me. I wish to trade with you live one day, eh? You see where there's Telegram link in the bio. I just want to put you there one day, man. We trade live together. We share ideas and talk the market. Will you be up for that? Let's see how your market look like. Uh, shucks. Mm. Not you're a cat, damn it. Eurocad is on the high unless it comes back lower, perhaps I'll consider it. AUD CAD, I'm also waiting for. I was hoping for it to still come back lower, but it didn't. You see. Yeah, it didn't come back lower. I still do have a limit on it. Yeah, man. For gold, for gold, we still look solid. We're still holding that fair value cap. Um, okay. I have a surprise for you. I will take you through my account. Oh, did I hide my fees? Let me see. I'll take you through my account now because I love all of you guys. Um, where I have this trade, and I'm gonna be working that account with you all the way to the end, man. Right now, it's not looking good, I know. Very deep drawdown. I'm looking for a continuation to the upside, but I will show you now. Let me quickly open it. Oh, I said I'll come back to my indices trading. Let's see. Yeah, no, it's not coming back, eh? It's gone. And I feel like it has done what I wanted. Yeah, it has done what I wanted. Unfortunately, it doesn't give. So this is an opportunity. If I didn't get a trade, perhaps I was gonna look too short somewhere here. Just going back to this just to show you. I was gonna short somewhere here. Ah, let's say we're gonna short somewhere here. Yeah, I was gonna look for something like this right now. But anyway, I said I wanna show you my account. Let me log in, and then I'm gonna call it a night. After that, uh, did I even save that thing, man? Did I? Yeah, 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 yeah. I didn't. Um, oh shucks, I made a very stupid mistake. Okay. Okay, here, I'll show you now. This thing looks weird. How do I hide these values here? Hold on, I'm just quickly saying I just want to hide certain values. In fact, I'll show you. Okay, let me show you now. So here is my portfolio that I have started recently. We did show. Let's see. Let's see if the portfolio will show. Mm, supposed to be showing. So this is a portfolio that I've started recently. Um, I'm just trading. The only position I have for now, it's gold, which I'm down 3.9%. I'm down 3.9%. Oh, you don't even say it. Interesting. Oh, yes. I'm down 3.9%. Yeah. It's a new portfolio that I'm working on, and I think I'll make this public. Um, don't look at these values, guys. So I will be honest and there's ascent values. For some reason, this market log, I'm gonna market them either way. It's giving my values in cents. So these are cents, not necessarily, not necessarily that are rands. So I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you that I'm down 12,000 rand. No, I'm not down 12,000 rand. So I was starting to work on this, trying to get everything properly marketed and tracked. So this is my portfolio. I'm down 4% or so. So I'll be working with this portfolio with you. even though it's on a negative, uh, but I will be working on it with you. So I hope you will enjoy this. It's a bit of a content that I love sharing. I will always be sharing with you. So yeah, other than that, man, today was a good trading day. In terms of day trading, I think I did fairly good. I did fairly good. I loved how I traded. I love that I stuck to the plan, and I did exactly what I was supposed to do. So other than that, today, after I've taken my loss, I felt good about it. No hard feeling about that trade. I think it was fairly a good stream today. No, my emotions were stable even when I've taken the loss. I felt like everything was proper and stable. I think that's what I loved about my stream today and how I managed my trade. Yes, I've taken a loss. It's not always good to take a loss, but when you stick to the plan, your emotions were in check. So it was a good day in terms of like that. Other than that, things that I didn't like, and I'll be honest with you, that was yesterday. My emotions were all over the place after I've taken the loss that I would have avoided. So, and on this account, I'm on a good drawdown. So I'm trying to bring back the account. Yeah, I think I'm trying to bring back the account to work slowly coming up. But the markets are not our babies. We've taken two wins, two losses directly in a row. But look, I'm not complaining at all. Um, yeah, the bulls were strong, I think, and I just wanted to catch a reversal, and I think I didn't get that. So other than that, man, I truly appreciate all of you joining me. I love you all, and have a great day. Well, thank you for joining me on the closing bell. We'll continue trading the closing bell. And this was the Ahora Fumo closing bell show. Have a great day. I love you all. Peace.